The operating room was chaos. The smell of antiseptic clashed with the thick scent of blood, and the whine of the helicopter blades still echoed in the corridors. A Navy SEAL lay on the gurney, half conscious, his leg shredded by shrapnel, his pulse fading. Dr. Harlow, the base surgeon, barked orders like a man possessed. "Clamp that artery, we're losing him, someone get the plasma ready." His voice carried authority, but there was panic behind it, panic he refused to show. Among the team stood a woman in scrubs, quiet but steady, her hands moving with precision. Her badge read Lieutenant Nora Briggs, Medical Corps. To most, she was just a nurse, recently transferred from an overseas unit. The surgeon barely glanced at her except to hand him instruments. "Scalpel," he demanded. She passed it calmly, but when she saw the wrong vessel being clamped, her eyes narrowed. The bleeding wouldn't stop, not like this. She hesitated, then spoke up. "Doctor, that's not the femoral, it's a branch. You're cutting too deep." The surgeon shot her a glare. "You're a nurse, Lieutenant. I've been doing this since before you joined the Navy. Step back." Nora's jaw tightened. She obeyed, outwardly, but her eyes tracked every move. She'd seen this before, in Afghanistan, intense filled with dust and screams. She knew what came next if he didn't correct his mistake. Seconds later, the monitor screamed. The SEAL's pressure plummeted. "Damn it," Harlow shouted. "He's crashing." Nora moved before anyone could stop her. "Bag him, now." She pushed past two assistants, hands steady, eyes locked on the wound. "Clamp higher. Here, not there." Her voice was steel now, cutting through the panic. "Get me a 3-0 Vicryl." The surgeon froze, disbelief on his face. "Who do you think you are? The only one trying to save him." She snapped. Her hands worked in blur. Within moments, the bleeding slowed. The monitor steadied. The room, moments ago a hurricane, turned still. The SEAL's breathing evened out. "Doctor." Harlow stared at her, stunned. How did you?" Before she could answer, a rasping voice came from the gurney. The wounded SEAL had come to, his eyes flickering open. "That's her," he whispered, forcing a weak smile. "That's the one who patched me up in Kandahar. She's no nurse, she's the doc who saved my team." Silence. Every eye turned to Nora. "Doctor." Harlow's face went pale. You're Commander Nora Briggs, the trauma surgeon from Task Force Phantom." She gave a small nod, pulling off her gloves. Was easier to work without the title getting in the way. The surgeon stepped back, speechless. The SEAL's hand twitched weakly toward hers. "Told you, she's the reason I'm still breathing." Nora looked at him softly. "Welcome back, Chief." Outside, the chopper blades began to spin again, but inside, no one moved. The nurse had just saved a life, and revealed a truth the entire base would remember. The story spread through the medical wing faster than wildfire. By morning, everyone on base had heard. The quiet nurse wasn't a nurse at all. She was Commander Nora Briggs, the trauma surgeon who ran Black Ops field hospitals for Task Force Phantom. Doctor. Harlow avoided the cafeteria that day. Every medic, corpsman, and even a few Marines looked at him differently now. The man who'd scolded her was silent, replaying every word he'd said. When he finally saw Nora again, she was sitting outside the ward, chart in hand, her posture calm, her uniform still marked with the faint stains of last night's chaos. He approached slowly. "Commander, I owe you." She didn't let him finish. "You owe him," she said softly, glancing through the glass where the SEAL now slept, stable and alive. That man didn't need pride in that room. He needed precision. Harlow swallowed, hard. "You were right, I should have listened." Nora gave a small, tired smile. "We all make mistakes, Doctor. The good ones learn before someone pays for it." A moment later, the ward door creaked open. The recovering SEAL, Chief Petty Officer Grant, was awake, pale but grinning. "You two gonna stand out there and argue all day, or come in and sign me out?" Nora laughed quietly, the first real sound of ease in days. She entered, checked his vitals, and shook her head. "You're not going anywhere, Chief. You lost half your blood last night." "Yeah, but not my memory," Grant said, looking right at Drive. "Harlow, you ought to know, Commander Briggs isn't just some doctor. She's the reason half my platoon's alive. The brass used to call her the Angel of Bagram. She ran trauma units under mortar fire." Harlow blinked. "The Angel of Bagram, I read the reports, I thought that was a codename." "Wasn't," Grant said, "it was her." The room went quiet again. For the first time, Drive. Harlow stood straighter. not as a superior, but as a student. "Commander," he said, voice steady, "if you're willing, I'd like to learn from you." Nora met his eyes. No arrogance, no pride, just quiet understanding. "Then start by calling me Nora. Titles don't save lives. Teamwork does." Later that evening, the base mess hall was unusually silent when she walked in. People stood as she passed, not because of her rank, but because of respect. The junior medics whispered her name like a legend come alive. Chief Grant, now sitting up in a wheelchair, raised a hand in salute. To the nurse who wasn't, he said with a grin, "And the surgeon who saved us all." The hall erupted in applause, the kind that wasn't loud but sincere, filled with gratitude that needed no words. Nora simply smiled, eyes soft but strong. "You don't need to thank me," she said. "Just remember, sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one holding it together." Outside, the sun dipped behind the hangars, and the base lights flickered on, each one glowing like a quiet salute to the woman who'd reminded them what true leadership looked like.